Good day, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm Gabrielle, and today I will be discussing about living in diversity. Now, as for the reason why I chose this topic, it's because my home, Indonesia, is one of the most diverse countries on the globe. Specifically, it is the fourth country. It is placed in fourth in the most diverse countries. Indonesia has cultures, traditions, religions, and belief systems that total to hundreds of thousands. What's written right now is around 1,239 traditions. I believe that we can all live together in this diverse environment because God has created us all unique, all different, and all good. Diversity can bring benefits, It can be a powerful tool or even a powerful mindset. With diversity, we can take a look at different aspects of choices, paths, and maybe decisions and compare them to one another so that we can find the most beneficial choice for us individually. Let's take an example. Maybe you're looking for a hobby because you're bored and you don't really have a hobby to do. Well, you ask some of your friends, what are their suggestions for a hobby? One of them suggests basketball because it is fun. You can exercise, which is healthy for you. You can also play with your friends and you can stay out in the sun. Another of your friends suggests to read a book in a library because it's quiet and it's relaxing. You're not tired and you can get a little peace to yourself with no one to bother you. Now, through these two different aspects, how would you make a decision without looking at the diversity between them first? You would notice one prefers it if we were in the sun, which is an amazing choice. But it's also good to have some time alone for yourself. Both these choices are good, so how would you choose? You choose which one benefits yourself more. Do you have a lot of free time and you need to look out in the sun more? You can take the basketball option. Or maybe you're very much headache and you want some quiet to yourself. You could take reading a book instead. This applies not only to your hobbies, but it can apply to your lifestyle, your major choosing, and many, many more. Diversity also comes in many different types. And this diversity is counted as God's creation. I'm fascinated by this. God has given us the ability to be free, which gives us the ability to have opinions that creates diversity. We cannot stay the same because life is a constant change. With this, we should accept and respect each other. And I believe we need to teach this in our society. Not only this, but another example we can take is maybe some of the belief systems, the religions that we have here in Indonesia. Now we know these religions are all from around the world, and maybe they're also from originally root cultures of Indonesia. Now, as we know, diversity can cause conflict. There's a difference between them. Now, one could tell you, you can't eat this, or another says you can't do that, but then the other one would allow it for it. Now, this is an example of diversity where we are contradicting each other. But we can adapt. We have shown signs of adaptation towards this. Now, certain cultures in Indonesia have adapted to the religions that are globally known wide. We now follow certain international laws, but we still have our own laws that we carry with this international law. Culture diversity helps us recognize these ways of being that are not necessarily our own. As I said before, things can contradict. Let's say you're vegan, but another person rather hates vegetables and is on a diet for meat. Now this will vary depending on what you need more. Maybe this guy who eats meat has a special condition that makes his body very weak and vulnerable, and he needs to eat more meat because if not, he could die. But those who prefer vegan, maybe they want to stay clean and healthy, and they prefer not touching meat. With this, we should know that these reasons for our beliefs and stubbornness are actually very beneficial to us individually, but sometimes to other people, this could be counted rude. Now, these rude thoughts must be avoided because diversity is all around us. Our whole environment, our life is diverse. If we are just to push these different things away, we are technically pushing ourselves away from these unique opportunities. With that, I believe we should respect each other with an open mind. Not only that, but diversity can also spread out to a social diversity. Now, what's social diversity, you wonder? Well, elements in the social diversity counts ethnicity, we have languages as well, tastes, preferences, and many more. Every nationality, every culture, and every single person has a different way of seeing the world. Similarly to how every nationality, every culture, and every person has different knowledge of the world. If we could connect all these different points of view and knowledge into one understanding, then we can create miracles. An example of this is, well, technology. Technology came from thoughts of many peoples, but the ones who had the ambition to make it a dream, those were the ones who are known. But we must know that they got these ambitions through a diverse choice. Now, technology didn't just came out of the blue of someone's mind. No, first they were thinking about how to store knowledge. And the first person who thought about this, he thought, why don't we write it down on paper and collect these papers? And they called it a book. Now, from this book, they realized the book kept withering away. But some people were too stubborn. They said the book was the best option. But someone else who had a diverse mind, who had a different idea, he said, why not we make something else? Something that could last longer, that's not a book. Something digitally maybe? And that's when they started trying to make USBs. And from USBs, we have now storage in our laptops, phones, computers, and this kept growing. This kept growing because people kept thinking differently. And due to this, we could see the diversity enhances and enriches creativity. And with this creativity, we could see many things, many aspects. Creativity not only shows us these different minds, but no, creativity could also help us with search of novel information. It could also help us with problem-solving skills, and it could also help us with decision-making skills. I've showed you some examples of decision-making skills, but how does diversity actually help you with problem-solving skills? Let me give you an example. Let's say you got a problem here. Two peoples are angry at each other. Now, you don't know why they're angry at each other or what do they want from each other until they're satisfied. So you ask one of them about their aspect of opinion, and they reply, oh, this guy was rude to me. Then you ask the second one who was rude to him, and he replied, well, this guy ignored me. It seems like one of them didn't knew they hurt the other, and they're too stubborn to hear the other's opinion. Seeing how you avoid diversity shows you that the problem will never be solved. But if you keep an open mind and listen to the other one's opinion, you'd realize, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that I was ignoring you. And then the other one would then realize, oh, I'm also not being nice because I'm being rude to you, which isn't the answer. Now, through this accepting open mind, we actually solve the problem quicker rather than us pushing away the different mind and thinking our own is the correct one. Working, learning, and meeting with different peoples in a diverse environment is the best way to teach students to make a brighter future. As I said with the example with problems, if one doesn't learn from a different perspective, they're gonna just stay in the same spot, not actually solving the problem. If the students could study from a diverse environment where one person has a contradicting opinion, yet the other one has an agreeing opinion, they can discuss about this further, which enhances their thinking, and it also enhances their creativity to how they should answer the problem. Not only this, but a diverse environment doesn't only mean different races, different belief systems. No, diverse environment could also refer to different mindsets, different opinions, different lifestyles, and so on. Living in diversity is living in a diverse environment where we can be exposed to things that we are not usually exposed to, or maybe some things that we are familiar to expose. With a mixture of both, we can get the best experience of it all. It also refers to us comfortably and freely living and accepting others that are different from us. For example, maybe in your neighborhood, they celebrate Christmas, but you yourself, or a small minority of you in your neighborhood, don't celebrate Christmas. In this scenario, instead of forcing the minority to join the majority, we should rather respect the fact that Christmas isn't actually a thing to them, but also respect the fact Christmas is something important to the other. With this, we can build bridges to trust each other and to understand each other better. And thank you for listening. That is all that I can give you for this discussion. Have a nice day.